Hey friends, welcome to Introverts Unmuted. I am your host, Amber Hansel, and we talk about all things building up your confidence and lead generation engagement in the online space that feels authentic to you. We are diving into a topic that resonates deeply with so many of us: why introverts hate small talk and how we can navigate this in our daily lives. Whether you're an introvert yourself or know someone who is, or simply want to understand this personality type better, this episode is for you. So grab your coffee, your tea, whatever, let's get into it. Let's start by defining what small talk is. It's a brief, surface level conversation typically used to fill the silence, break the ice. You can think of it classic as how's the weather? What do you do? How was your weekend? It's a cultural norm in many societies, and it serves as a social lubricant in both casual and professional settings. But here's the catch: for introverts, small talk often feels shallow, unnecessary, and exhausting. But why is this? I will get into that. But first, we need to understand how introverts are wired. Introverts are individuals who tend to feel more energized in calm, low stimulation environments. Unlike extroverts, they thrive on external interactions and activities. Introverts often prefer those deep, meaningful conversations. For them, social energy is like a battery that depletes quickly in large crowds or during surface level interactions. Small talk for many introverts feels like a transaction without much payoff. It doesn't dive into topics of substance like personal values, emotions, or interests. Instead, it skims the surface, leaving introverts yearning for something more. There's also this concept of cognitive load. Introverts often think deeply before they speak, and small talk can feel like an unnatural performance. Crafting polite responses to predictable questions, it can feel repetitive and draining. So finally, let's consider authenticity. Introverts often place a high value on genuine connection. Small talk can feel disingenuous because it's not designed to foster deep relationships. Instead, it's a tool for quick rapport, and it can feel counterproductive to someone seeking that authentic interaction. But let's flip it now. While small talk might feel tedious, it does serve an important purpose. It's a stepping stone to deeper conversations and relationships. Think of it as a warm up before the main event. Small talk allows people to gauge each other's personalities, moods, and comfort levels. It's also a way to show courtesy and interest in others, even if it's just at the surface level. And for introverts, recognizing this can be a game changer. It's okay to dislike small talk, but understanding its role can help us approach it with less resistance and more intention. So, what can introverts do to navigate small talk more effectively? Let's go into some strategies to help us out. We're going to reframe your perspective. So, instead of viewing small talk as a waste of time, we are going to see it as an opportunity to learn from the other person. Even simple exchanges can provide insights into their interests or personality. Ask open ended questions. So, redirect the conversation into more meaningful territory by asking those open ended questions. For example, instead of asking, how is your weekend? Try, what's something you really enjoyed about your weekend? You see the switch there? It's going deeper. It's still surface level, but just with a little bit more. You can share a small story. If someone asks a basic question like, how are you? don't hesitate to add more depth. For instance, say, I'm good. I just finished reading this amazing book about blah, blah, blah. Have you read anything interesting lately? Notice that you could just say, I'm good, and that conversation's over. This is where we stop conversations, is because we don't go more in depth. So share a piece of yourself to build that relationship with the person, and set boundaries. If the small talk becomes overwhelming, it's okay to excuse yourself. You can use phrases like, it's been great chatting, but I need to step away for a moment. Or, it's been great. I am now going to be doing blah, blah. And like any skill, we must practice. It improves with practice, like anything else. So start small with brief interactions, whether at a coffee shop, grocery stores, in your DMs. Build up your confidence over time by using open-ended questions and sharing a small part of your story when you're responding. All right, now we've discussed the why and the how, let's talk about next steps. So, if you're an introvert, start by observing your own reactions to small talk. When does it feel most draining? Are there specific contexts or people that make it feel easier? Reflect on these moments and use them as a guide to approach future interactions. And for extroverts, listening, be mindful of your introverted friends or colleagues, people around you. If they seem hesitant during small talk, try guiding the conversation toward topics that you know they're passionate about. You might be surprised how introverts jump out of their shell when we start talking about something we're passionate about. And for everyone, remember, connection isn't about the quantity, it's about the quality. So, whether it's small talk or deep conversations, the goal is to build bridges, not walls. So, I hope today's discussion gave you a fresh perspective on small talk and how to navigate it as an introvert or with the introverts in your life. And if you want to shift your mindset even more around small talk and maybe learn to get out of those small talk ruts even more, you can check out my free guide, Authentic DM Connections for Introverts. We go through a mindset shift first and how to avoid small talk, but use it with intention. And that is really what we are diving into with this episode and with that guide, is using your conversations with intention. So if you have enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend. Let me know in the comments, and I can't wait to hear from you and connect with me on Instagram.